joining us today, viewers. We're here today to promote National Library Week, which promotes reading and books. My name is Susana Martinez, and I work for the Wayne County Public Library. Joining me today is Michelle Estrada. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, how are you? My name is Michelle Estrada, and I'm the Family Consumer Science Agent for the NC State University at Wayne County Cooperative Extension.
Well, it's great to get to know you a little bit more. Michelle is going to be here doing a little story time with us, but first we're going to ask her a few questions. Michelle, why do you think reading is important?
Reading is important for me because I think while we are reading, we can go to different places. We don't need to be physical there, and we can learn so much from books. We can improve many skills that we may have, and also have more knowledge about things.
That's so true. Now, has reading helped you in your life or in your work and career?
Mm-hmm. We moved from Mexico to 7 years ago to United States, and I had to learn many things, and I learned it through the books. And also in my career, I work with children and parents, and I like to read a lot about child development, and all the things that I have been reading, I can share with other parents.
Now, it's the age of computers nowadays, and do you think it's important to be able to know how to read?
Yes, I think we need to be better readers when we're in front of the computer because we have a big book, but we need to find the right way to choose information that is research-based information.
Now, what do you read for fun or for pleasure?
I have 2 kids, and they are 6 and 2 years old, and we read a lot of children books.
Wow, that sounds like fun there.
It is.
Now, I know our viewers are anxious to see what you brought for us to share. So I'll take it away, Michelle.
Okay, and today we're going to read Llama Llama Mad at Mama. Let's start. Llama Llama Mad at Mama. Llama Llama having fun. Blocks and puzzles in the sun. Time to shop. It's Saturday. Llama Llama wants to play. First the shopping, then a treat. Mama Llama gets the seat. Llama dreaming in the car. Wake up, here we are. Great big building, great big signs. Lots of aisles, lots of lines. Llama Llama out with Mama, shopping at the Shoparama. Yucky music, great big feet. Ladies smelling way too sweet. Look at niece and stand in line. Llama Llama starts to whine. Clearance sales and discount buys. What is little llama size? Try it on and take it off. Pull and wiggle, itch and cuff. Shirts and jackets, pants and shoes. Dusty sweater coming blue. Brand new socks and underwear. Llama Llama does not care. Cheesy puffs and oaty crunch. What will Llama like for lunch? Llama Llama does not know. Llama Llama wants to go. Loaf of bread and cream of wheat. Llama Llama wants his treat. It's no fun at Shoparama. Llama Llama mad at Mama. Flying pasta, spreading use. Paper towels rolling loose. Coffee, bread, and chips galore. Shoes and sweaters hit the floor. Crash the cart and smash the signs. No more waiting, no more lines. Out go socks and cheesy puffs. Llama Llama, that's enough. Please stop fussing, little llama. No more of this llama drama. I think shopping's boring too, but at least I'm here with you. Let's see if we can make this fun and get the llama shopping done. Let's be a team at Shoparama. Llama Llama shops with Mama. Sweep up pasta, mop up juice. Rub up towels, rolling loose. Pick up puffs and find the socks. Put the shoes back in the box. Push the cart with Mama Llama. Almost done at Shoparama. Time to leave, the shopping's done. No more waiting, time for fun. Out to parking, no too far. Oh, where did Mama leave the car? Snap the buckle, grab the box, put on brand new shoes and socks. Say goodbye to Shopperama. Llama Llama loves his mama.
Well, that was a fun book right there.
And yes, I love
it. Well, thank you, Michelle, for joining us today, and thank you, viewers, for...
Hey, hello, my name is Lisa Stevens. I'm with the Wayne County Public Library, and I'm here today with Colonel Doherty, and we are stressing the importance of literacy for Literacy Week. So just a few questions for you, Colonel Doherty. Why has reading been important to you?
Well, it's reading's a door opener. It opened the doors as a child, getting through high school, and kind of exploring dreams, and then going through college, getting a little more technical in nature, and then coming into the Air Force, which I always wanted to do. Just like any technical skill or any job you have, you usually have to be proficient. And the only way to do that is to read and learn and add perspective to your life.
How has the ability to read helped in your career?
Well, just like I was saying, you know, I'm an Air Force officer. I'm a fighter pilot as well. And there's a lot of technical reading that goes along with that job, and reading about threats and capabilities and all the rest. And it makes you more proficient at your job, as well as leading airmen. So you bring in a multitude of references into your life and into your leadership skills, so that you can help out your young airmen and lead them to the future successes that they have in front of them.
In the age of computers, do you think it's still important to know how to read?
I think it's more so now. You know, reading is a basic diet, just like eating and drinking and sleeping. It is critical to who we are as people, and it does really open the doors to dreams, and to really take action on those dreams so that you can fulfill and live your dreams.
Awesome. I remember the first time you came back and I saw you at the gym, you were actually reading a book while you were working out.
That's right.
I was very impressed with that. So what do you read for your personal pleasure?
I do like to read history. I like, it's very interesting going all the way back to the Thucydides, you know, the Peloponnesian War, you know, 2,500 years ago, and reading just how similar our challenges are today to what they were going through back then. And then all throughout time, there's just been some very interesting times and challenges, and seeing how those people work through those challenges, and trying to connect the dots and see if we can learn and actuate on some of those trends.
That's awesome. We have chosen a book for you today to read. It is Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Places You'll Go.
Hey, that's my favorite.
Great. So you can read for the children and let them know the places they can go with literacy.
Absolutely. Where would you like me to start?
At the very beginning.
At the beginning. Okay, good. All right. Congratulations. Today is your day. You're off to great places. You're off and away. You have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know, and you are the guy who will decide where to go. You'll look up and down the streets. Look them over with care. About some you will say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not so good street. And you may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's opener there, in the wide open air. Out there things can happen, and frequently do, to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew, just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang and you'll soon take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be the best of the best. Wherever you go, you will top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true. That bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, and your gang will fly on. You'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You will come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they're dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and chin. Do you dare to stay out? Do you dare to go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right? Or right and 3/4? Or maybe not quite? Or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not, I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down long wiggled rows at a breaknecking pace, and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. For people just waiting, waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for their hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting, waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for the wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. No, that's not for you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing, with a banner flip-flapping. Once more you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you're that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done. There are points to be scored. There are games to be won. And the magical things that you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't, because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. All alone. Whether you like it or not, alone will be something you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go, though the weather be foul. On you will go, though your enemies prowl. On you will go, though the hackencracks howl. Onward, up many a frightening creek, though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you'll hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems wherever and whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact, and remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And you will succeed. Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So, be your name Boxbaum, or Bixby, or Bray, or Mordecai, Ollie, Von Allen, O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. The end.
That was awesome. I think that book plays to a lot of audiences, not just the little ones.
It does, doesn't it?
I think we can all get something out of that
Life
one.
lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate the time you've taken out of your busy day to be with us. It really is wonderful.
It's a pleasure and honor. And it's a great program, and I hope all the youth, young and old, proceed on with literacy.
Hello, my name is
It's so
Lisa
critically
Stevens.
important.
I'm with the Wayne County Public Library, and we're here celebrating Literacy Week with Kathy Fields, the town manager of Pikeville. So, Kathy, we have just a few questions for you about literacy and how it's been important in your life. First of all, why has reading been important to you?
Well, to be honest, when you ask me how reading has been important, it is a learning tool. It is one of the best learning tools that I developed through my children and myself to learn about things that are going on.
Awesome, awesome. So, how has the ability to read helped you in your career?
The ability to read helps me tremendously because I have to read state reports, legislative bills, things that I have to learn to understand. And if you don't read, you don't learn the comprehension of what's, what you're doing.
And how's it helped you in your personal life?
In my personal life, reading, I read daily scriptures.
Oh.
I read daily books to help me through the days that I go through. That's how it's helped me. It has supported me to be a better person.
Great, great. Well, in the age of computers, do you still think it's important to know how to read?
Very much so. Very much so. I think reading is a good base for children before the computer age. They need to have their hands on.
Right, right. And what do you read for personal?
Oh, and as if you didn't know, a lot of romance novels. I'm a Barbara Delinsky fan. I love to read all hers, and I have started reading Nora Roberts. Plus, I read my daily scriptures, as I said. So.
Perfect. Well, we've got you reading something a bit different today. This is a children's book called Book, Book, Book by Deborah Bruss, and I thought you'd be perfect for this, so let's hear you start.
Okay, let's do it. Down at the farm, all was well until the children went back to school and the animals had nothing to do. They had no rides to share, no tug of war to play, no one to scratch behind their ears or ruffle their feathers. In the bright morning sun, the horse hung his head. The cow complained, wah, 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 and the goat grumbled, me, me, me. The pig pouted, the duck dozed off, and the hen heaved a heavy sigh. Long about noon, with the sun high above the barnyard, the hen squawked, "Honk, honk, I'm bored, and I'm heading to town to find something to do." The animals followed her down the road. The horse, the cow, the pig, the duck. "Look," clucked the hen, "happy faces This must be the place we're looking for. I'll go in and see if I can find something to do. Nay, nay, whinnied the horse. You're too small for such a big job. Leave it to me. The horse clip-clopped in. Politely, he asked for something to do. But the librarian could not understand the horse. All she heard was neigh, neigh. So the horse hung his head and clip-clopped out. Next, the cow plodded in. Politely, she asked for something to do, but the librarian could not understand the cow. All she heard was moo, moo. So the cow complained and plodded out. Now, it was the goat's turn, and he trotted in. Politely, he asked for something to do, but the librarian couldn't understand the goat. All she heard was baa, baa. So the goat grumbled and trotted out again. Slowly, the pig ambled into the library. Politely, she asked for something to do, but all the librarian heard was So the pig ambled out to tell her friends. Up flapped the hen, and she announced, I'm going in, and no one is going to stop me. Into the library she flapped. Bark, clucked the hen politely. The librarian looked around and said, What's that noise? Bark, bark, clucked the hen. The librarian scratched her head. Who's that? Who is that? She asked. Bark, bark, bark. Not as good as yours. Clucked the hen quite clearly. Oh, is this what you want? Asked the librarian. And she handed the hen 3 books. And everyone left. All the way back. Back at the farm, the horse, the cow, the goat, the pig, the duck, and the hen gathered around the books. The barnyard was filled with neigh, moo, baa, quack, quack, and buck, buck, buck. Their sounds of delight lasted until sundown. All the animals were happy except for the bullfrog. And do you know what he said? I've already read it, read it, read it, read it. And that's the end.
Thank you. That was so good. We love that one. Thank you so much.
You're
We
certainly
appreciate
welcome.
it.
You're certainly welcome.
I work at the Wayne County Public Library. Today I am interviewing the Bishop Alton Smith from St. Mark Church. Tell me a little bit about you, Dr. Smith.
Good morning, Marion. I'm Alton Smith, pastor of St. Mark Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ here in Goldsboro, North Carolina. I'm also serving as the president of our general church of the General Assembly of the Church of Christ, Disciples of Christ, which includes 300 congregations from Newburgh, New York to Miami, Florida, Togo, Africa, Ghana, West Africa, and Dominican of Panama. And I've been the proud pastor of St. Mark for the past 13 years. And great work, great church, great people. And St. Mark happens to be my home church. So it's been a journey, it's been a joy, and not too many are afforded that opportunity to serve their home church. But I'm very proud to say that it's been a joy and a blessing that the Lord has really blessed us to do that.
Well, thank you very much. Dr. Smith is here today to help us with the National Library Week this month. So hopefully, tell us a little bit about what you think about reading.
Reading is very, very important. I read a lot because being a minister, being a pastor, but even before becoming a minister or a pastor, I was raised in a home that was taught early on the importance of reading and learning and knowing that you could be a responsible citizen of the world in which you live. My father and mother required of us, especially back, I grew up, believe it or not, back during the time when the black and white TV was a part of the family.
Oh, I remember
but my
that
father
too.
required of us in family time sometimes that we would sit and read different books or different things, and especially we had to know our Sunday school verses and Bible verses to prepare not only for Sunday school but for church. So early on, I was taught the importance of reading.
Oh, great. In the computer age that we have encountered just recently, how important do you think reading still is?
It's still very important, even though you can have skill and knowledge and know-how to go in and pull up different things, but understanding what it's saying and even go to other websites to break that down to get a better understanding so that you can understand the different documents or whatever that you may run across. It's still very important to read and understand language and sentences, to understand words so that you can get an understanding rather than having to go to the dictionary or go to different other sources, to know the importance of reading to prepare yourself to be versed in reading.
Well, great. Today, Dr. Smith is going to read a little synopsis from Langston Hughes, Poetry for Young People.
Mother to son. Well, son, I tell you, life for me ain't been no crystal stairs. It's had tacks in it and splendors. Boards are torn up, and no place on the floor for carpet. Bare. But all the time I's been a-climbing on and reaching the ladders and turning corners and sometimes going in the dark where there ain't been no light. My boy, don't turn back. Don't you sit down on the steps, 'cause you'll find it a kindling hard. Don't you follow now, for I'll still a-going, honey. 'Tis still climbing, and life for me ain't been no crystal stairs. Let's see. Dreamers. The Dream Killer. Bring me all your dreams, you dreamer. Bring me all your heart melodies, for I will wrap them in a blue cloud cloth, away from the too rough fingers of the world. Walk with the dream, walk with the dawn. Being a walker with the dawn in the morning, walkers in the sun and in the morning, we are so afraid of the night, no days to gloom, nor darkness, being a walker in the sun and in the morning. I too sing Afro-American. I am a darker brother that sent me to eat in the kitchen when company comes, but I laugh. I eat well, I grow strong. Tomorrow I'll be at the table when company comes, and nobody I'll darn to say to me, eat in the kitchen then. Besides, there I'll see how beautiful I am and be not ashamed. I too am an American. Let's see. Homesick Blues. Derailed Bridges, a sad song the air. Derailed Bridges, a song in the air. Even times in derailed pass, I want to go somewhere. I went down to the station, my heart in my mama's mouth. Went down to the station, heart was in my mouth, looking for a boxcar to roll me to the south. Homesick blues, law, so terrible things to have. Homesick blues, a terrible thing to have. To keep from crying, I open my mouth and laugh. All right. Hey, hey, sun is rising. It's going to be my song. Sun is rising. 'Tis going to be my song. I could be a blue but blue all the day long. Hey! No. African American fragment, so long, so far away is Africa, not even the memories alive. Save those history books create, and save those that song. Beat back the blood, beat out the blood with words, sad song, and strange un-Negro tongue, oh so long, so far away is Africa. So do the time lost, as the drums, and yet, through so vast mist of race, coming this song I do not understand. This song abbreviates the land, and bitter yells lost. Without a place so long, so far away is Africa, darn face. All right. Let's see. This one not too long. My people, the night is beautiful, so faces of my people. The stars are beautiful, so are the eyes of my people. Beautiful also in the sun, beautiful also is the soul of my people. Youth by Langston Hughes. You have tomorrow, bright before like a flame. Yesterday is night gone thing, sun name, and dawn today. Born anchored above the road we are, we march.
You know, just to know the importance of poems and reading and sharing is very important. I remember a few years ago, my wife and I were in Mexico, only to learn that we thought that once crossing the borders that everything would be in English and we could still find our way, but it was not in English, it was in Spanish. So we, thank God, we had a little knowledge of knowing and learning that we could interpret enough to get around and not get lost and not be exiled. But reading is very, very important.
Thank you, Bishop Smith, for coming in to help us promote National Library Week and also to promote the importance of reading. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Melissa Sheldon. I work in the Children's Department at the Wayne County Public Library. This week is National Library Week. We're celebrating libraries and reading and books. And I'm here today with Lee Smith, the Wayne County Manager. And we're just going to ask a few questions to him about libraries and reading, and then he's got a special book to read to all of our children out there.
Great.
Okay. So Mr. Smith, why do you think reading is important?
Well, for a lot of reasons. Personally, for me, it's kind of a way to separate yourself, kind of get into your own world and learn new things. You know, kind of the coolest thing you can ever do is to travel the world or around the universe without leaving your chair, you know, by reading something new. So I think it opens new worlds to you, reading things, but also just the experience of coming to a library or a library setting where it's quiet, you know, kind of, you know, generating new thoughts. But you know, for me, most of my reading for me is research, you know, in my job. But over the years, I will never forget I was raised in a very, very small school of K through 8 of less than 200 kids in this whole school. And to this day, I remember the small library, not much bigger than this room. We talk about library size, it was very tiny. And I remember I collect model trains and have about 350 model trains. And I remember a couple of books that I would read those things over and over again. In fact, I'm still searching for these 2 books as a kid. But even then was doing research, you know, about things. It's how you learn to do things, you know.
Even from the time you're little.
Exactly. So, you know, you can go to YouTube and do all this stuff electronically, but to read it and to see it, it just ingrains in my mind. So a lot of research. I do some fun reading too. I'll read Jack Welch and stuff about management and stuff, but mostly research.
Well, wonderful. And how has being able to read helped you in your life, in your career, anything like that?
Well, obviously, you know, having the ability to read is the most important thing that anybody, you know, and if someone have, like any of our viewers that are having issues with reading, and
Right.
it's not just kids, it's adults, and sometimes it can be a very embarrassing thing, but it should not be. You should want to read. And we've got new Donald Phillips here. Our own Donald Phillips with the library has the Literacy Council they're getting started, encouraging adults and young adults to learn to read, because sometimes folks didn't have that opportunity. But for me, it enables me to do my job better, because I'm able to go look for resources or look at reading case studies about however other communities have done things.
Right.
From reading newspapers and periodicals. You know, I try to read at least for 30 minutes a day, and it's not a lot, just for what I call pleasure reading or research. And then the rest, of course, my job is probably 80% reading. But I think it helps me do my job better just by having an understanding of things.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. Well, now in this age of computers and electronics and everything, why do you think it's still important to learn how to read? You can find anything you need on the internet.
Well, you can. Well, you can find, I always say you can find pieces of it on the internet. And, you know, my kids are much more computer savvy than I am. But now, I mean, for Christmas, my daughter has an e-reader. And those are important, so you can get books. And I think that's something hopefully we'll be talking about here at the library. And I get asked a question a lot in management about why are libraries necessary, you know, with the computer age. You cannot get everything on the internet. You cannot get complete books. You get, in a lot of cases, excerpts and things from books and research pieces. But there's something to be said for coming in, learning to find resources. The other thing is that there's also a community aspect to libraries. When you come and you meet people and you see people that have similar interests that you have, you know, that's important. But I know with the Wayne County library system, you know, I see kind of a melding of the technology, you know, the website, and then hopefully with ebooks. But I don't think it will ever fully replace, not in my lifetime, I don't think it ever will replace books, because as one of the book I'm going to read today, it's a children's book, but it touches on that, about the importance of actually coming in and handling and being a part of the system of reading. You know, it's important. So.
Okay, you mentioned something a minute ago about the community aspect of the library. What do you think is the library's place in the community? How does it meet the needs of the community in general?
You know, the very first thing I'll tell if I'm meeting with Kiwanis or Rotary or churches or whatever, and we talk about the library as a part of government, the library is an arm of education. You know, I have been very blessed in my life, and my kids, there are a lot of folks out there that don't have the resources, and there are resources that the library has that I don't have at home. But we are an extension of education. And so we are as important as having a classroom, because when kids leave Goldsboro High School or Rosewood Middle School, they have to do research and things that, you know, they may be able to do pieces on the internet, but they've got to come, you know, get books to do book reports on, or to come do research. So, you know, it's an important part of the community, but it's education. And from, you know, you say 0 to 90 or to now, we're living longer, 0 to 100. So it's about education, and it's a part of that. And without it, I think we will see a deterioration of our education system without a library. So.
Okay, wonderful. And one last question before we get on to your book. Just what do you read for your personal pleasure? What do you enjoy reading?
Well, I mean, if there's anything, I mean, my hobbies, I told you I collect trains and love to do that. But I do lots and lots of, I love to do things on my own, you know, kind of how-to books. So I buy things and research how to, you know, certain gardening, and I love water gardening. And so I buy books and come and, you know, and get books from the library about how to do certain things. But I read a lot of management books as part of my job. I'm in the ICMA, which is International City County Manager Association. I have to get so many continuing education credits a year, and some of that is reading books. So I have to read 4 or 5 books a year, and I actually have to do a book report. So kids, if you're doing a book report, I have to do book reports. So it's kind of cool. But you have to express what you learned from the book, what you learned from the author, and then how did you apply that to your job. So that continues. So if you think you're tired of doing book reports, it keeps going. But it's fun, you know, because you get to learn new things. And I mentioned Jack Welch, and he's kind of an extreme manager, but I've learned you learn from, he was a very honest author in that he told folks what he did wrong and what he did right. And I appreciate that honesty. But most of it is work related, but I do a lot. It's usually the research aspect of things that I want to do. I'm not a big novel reader. Now my daughter and my wife, novels. I mean, they just fly through novels. From, hard books to e-readers, man, they're flying through novels. My son's a researcher. So mainly those kind
Y'all
of things.
get a little bit of everything in your family.
It's a well-diverse family, so yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, well, I think Mr. Smith has a book for us.
Okay.
You want to go ahead and read that?
Sure. This book is called Dog Loves Books, and it's by Louise Yates. And after I read through the first time, I think it is something that I think folks will enjoy. It starts out, you'll see it says, Dog loved books. He loved the smell of them. He loved the feel of them. He loved everything about them. Dog loved books so much that he decided to open his own bookstore. He unwrapped, he unpacked, and stacked the books ready for the grand opening. When the day of the grand opening finally came, Dog had a bath, dried his fur, blew his nose, and threw open the door to greet all of his new customers. But there was no one there. So Dog tried to keep busy, and then a lady came into the store. She said, "I'll have tea with milk and 2 sugars," she said. "I'm sorry," said Dog, "but this is a bookstore. I only sell books." The lady walked out. Dog was alone, and he waited, and he waited, and then a man came into the store to ask directions. And when he left, Dog was downhearted, but not for long. He wouldn't wait for a moment more. Dog fetched a book from the shelf and began to read. When he read, he forgot that he was waiting. When he read, he forgot that he was alone. When he read, he forgot that he was in the bookstore. And when one adventure ended, Dog simply took up another book down from the shelf, and a new adventure began. So Dog was somewhere else altogether when a customer came into the bookstore to ask for a book. Dog knew exactly which ones to recommend. Dog loves books, but most of all, he loves to share them. And the reason I think this was, just a really interesting kind of take on even our discussion was, when we talked about feeling a book, and he said he smelled the books, there's still this really interesting thing about the smell of the pages of a book. The feel of a book, and being a part of it. And you get lost in it. With a computer you may read, but you get lost when you hold a book and you read it. And that was when, as part of this, that as the owner of the bookstore, he got lost in it. And as a part of that community aspect, he could displace himself. So if you're ever down, if you ever pick up a book and read something. So, it opens up new worlds. So I appreciate the opportunity.
You can go on so many adventures.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.